Got you bow on, everyone, and welcome back to, what are we at? Beyond the Northern Wall. Sorry. I was literally eating before I just said live on this thing. I have my food right here. We are in part 2 of the astrology series, and it's hot. It was so cold earlier, and now I'm so hot because I was eating soon-to-boo that I made, and it's incredibly spicy. So hello, welcome. This is my Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going? Hope y'all are doing great. Today, we are going to talk about, I know last week I was like, we're going to talk about astrology signs as like dance styles. And I started to do that, and then I got tired. It was a lot. It was a lot to think about. So I started to think, what do I really want to talk about? And what I really wanted to talk about is about the anime characters whose birthdays coincide with the zodiac signs. Couldn't get that sentence out. Yes, it's hot. It's cold everywhere else. But so we're going to talk about all the different zodiac signs. Of course, we're going to start with Aries. Like, you must start with Aries. You have to start at the beginning of the cycle. We're going to go all the way through, and we're going to talk about the certain characters that have the same birthday and the same zodiac signs as the corresponding sign. Now, when you get into anime and you get into manga, the cool thing is that a lot of mangakas and creators utilize a lot of statistics in order to flesh out their characters. Not only do you get like their measurements, that's like a big thing out in Japan. I don't know, like height and the 3 measurements are like a thing. Actually, no, not in Japan. It's also like a big thing in Europe too. So maybe just the US, we don't care about the 3 measurements. I don't know. That's like crazy intimate. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't care about other people's measurements. Even though I probably take everyone's measurements on core because of... Oh, Appa is asleep. Appa put himself to bed. Sorry, guys. He'll probably come out later, a little fluff ball. But what they also do with these anime characters is they'll give you their height. They'll also give you their likes and dislikes. Of course, that's natural. Another big thing that's a big indicator of personality, that's kind of like the zodiac, but not quite, is blood type. There's A, B, O negative. I'm O negative. Universal donor. And I live with 2 AB negatives, the universal taker. Just FYI, me and Shell are both universal donors, and the 2 Gryffindors are universal takers. So, I mean, this house will be fine if there's a zombie apocalypse and we have to take care of them. But if the 2 Slytherins are down, sucks to be us, Malfoy. But apart from that, is they always assign the birthday according to their zodiac sign, because if you watch enough trends in anime, you'll notice that signs kind of indicate what the character is like, and there are trending on certain characters in the anime. So we're going to kind of talk about that. There are, of course, some outliers. Not everything is, you know, perfectly put into their little categories, but there's just some things that I've noticed with the trending characters and their corresponding signs. So we're going to explore that a little bit. Now, going with the very first fire sign in the zodiac is Aries, good old Aries. Now, Aries is actually really fun in anime because Aries is always depicted by the hothead, but never it's like, they're like the what is his name? Jason Todd of anime, the hothead. But it's never the hothead that you don't like. It's always the one that ends up having such a strong following. Aries, very charismatic. Aries, very leader oriented. Aries. They're the quintessential Gryffindors of the zodiac. So some key anime characters, and I tried to stick with animes that Core has done. End of sentence. So some significant Aries are, there's Sakura from Naruto, there's Bakugo from Boku no Hero Academia, and of course Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Now we'll get to Bakugo in a second because he's a cusp baby. I know some people are going to be like, he's a Taurus because he's a April 20th. April 20th is a cutoff, so give it a second. There is a lot of debate about whether Bakugo is a Aries or a Taurus, and I'm going to get to him in a second. So, first of all, let's go with Sakura. Now, this is just a personal thing. I don't like the hate that Sakura gets. I don't like the hate that Sakura gets in correspondence to the love that Sasuke gets. Okay? It's just not fair. That is just straight misogyny in anime. And it is recognized by both men and women and non-binary alike. Like, everyone just automatically hates on Sakura without like really taking into account her journey. And people just love Sasuke because he's strong. I hate Sasuke. Now, Sakura, if you actually look at her character, her Aries character, she goes through a lot of growth, which is what Aries does, is if they're at the birth of the zodiac, they go through growth. They are impulsive. They kind of fly off the handle when they're younger. And then as you see them grow, as they evolve, which all signs do, you watch them take their fire and focus it before they just blaze everywhere. That is exactly what Sakura does. She takes her perfect chakra control because she knows she can't do all these amazing things that Naruto and Sasuke can do. And she changes it and she finds her niche in the world. She also has a leadership role, whether you like it or not. She had a leadership role in the Fourth Shinobi War. So, suck on that, Malfoy. Now, of course, when we get to Eren Yeager, I mean, like, okay, spoilers. Now I'm hot. I got excited. Now I'm hot. Oh, my camera doesn't like that I got excited. So, Eren Yeager, the Jaeger, moves like Jaeger. We know he's a natural leader. We know he has this inexplicable need to right wrongs. It's so Aries, this undeniable sense of righteousness, the quintessential Gryffindors. Now, if you have, spoilers, gone far enough, spoilers, in the manga, spoilers. I'm going to keep saying spoilers. Spoilers. Just do this. I'm going to do this. This is spoilers. This means silence me until I'm done crossing my hands, then no more spoilers. So this is spoilers for the manga, for Attack on Titan. Spoilers for Attack on Titan. I'm going to keep saying it because someone's going to be like, oh my God, that's spoiled for me. Yeah, I know. Spoilers. I'm spoiling Attack on Titan for you. I'm spoiling it. It's not in the anime. This is in the manga. So Eren's gone crazy, okay? Eren's crazy in Attack on Titan. He's this crazy leader of this crazy genocide, all right? But like, even if he's absolutely insane in the manga, his followers are blindingly faithful to him and his crazy idea of a genocide to right the wrongs of what's happened to the people of Paradise Island. It's a whole thing. But that's where his Aries came in. When he was younger, it was all about vengeance and all about righting wrongs, and he wanted to fight the Titans. Then as he got older, he took that fight. It focused it nonetheless, and now he is the leader of this vast Titan army. He's accumulated so much crazy power. That's something that happens a lot with Aries in anime, is they accumulate a lot of crazy power. So, okay, Attack on Titan spoilers over. Those were spoilers. Now I'm going to not do spoilers anymore. Now I get into Bakugo. Now there's a lot of debate with Bakugo because it's April 20th, which is right on the cusp of Aries into Taurus. But a lot of people, of course, say that Bakugo recognizes a lot of Aries traits. I think he recognizes both of them. Of course, the sheer amount of power. He is literally Aries incarnate. Like, fierce power, fiery power, hothead, flying off the handle. But also, you know that even though he's yelling all the time, and even though his class is always like, Bakugo's yelling, there's something about him that makes people follow him, that makes people like him, even amongst fans of Boku no Hero Academia. There's something about this temperamental, short-circuited boom boy that makes you just be like, wow, he's just so... Why do I like him? Even me. I thought when I first started watching Boku no Hero Academia, I thought he was going to be the Sasuke. I mean, they all follow the same tropes, but I was like, oh my gosh, Bakugo's a Sasuke. 10 times, 11 times, 45,000 times better than Sasuke. It's his Aries. His Aries has this charisma about him that makes you like him. So those are like the Aries traits that you see in anime. Now, if we're going to go into Taurus, which is what's next on the zodiac, Bakugo kind of teeters on the edge of Taurus. Now with Taurus, you have this dependability, and the way that anime kind of personify a Tauruses, a Taurusin, the multiple of Taurus, the way that they personify a Tauri's dependability is usually in their power, in the dependability of their power. Now with Bakugo, you definitely get that. You get this dependability. You know, no matter what happens, Bakugo is going to come flying off the handle, shooting his nitroglycerin sweat hands. I mean, the science behind it is crazy. But he's going to come through. You know, Bakugo's going to come through. That dependability, even that little sense of dependability into cockiness. He said he was going to win the sports festival. Everyone was mad at him, mad at Aries. Taurus comes through and it's like, but did I lie though? He didn't lie, you know? So the rest of the other famous recognizable Tauri anime characters is you got Connie Springer from Attack on Titan, you got Luffy from One Piece, and you got Choji from Naruto. Now, when you're talking about dependability, it falls... Okay, these ones are kind of hard. I don't think they really fall into the perfect little thing, but I was trying to look at their dependability, and I was trying to look at them in the whole aspect of what their anime is. I'm going to admit, I know nothing about One Piece. I know that Luffy's the main character. They're called Straw Hats. I know that in his dependability, he's very strong. Like, you can depend on Luffy to be there and to not be taken out. And that is a very Tauri trait. Now, when you get into strength, Connie isn't the first one you go to in Attack on Titan. He's the strongest one. No, but I tell you, Connie is there. The Taurus in him is there. It's just going to be spoilers for Attack on Titan. I'm the only one on Core who has kept up with Attack on Titan. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everyone who hasn't caught up on Attack on Titan. Connie, right now in the manga, is like ride or die to a T. He is so awesome. And I'm like, oh yeah, when I found out he was the Taurus, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you need someone to have your back. Connie's got your back. Like, y'all, Connie Springer is the real MVP. The way he comes through for Jean, for Armin, for Sasha, for Hanji, for Levi, for Mikasa, like, what a Taurus trait. It's like, who can I depend on? Oh, Connie's there. Gotta love Connie. And Choji doesn't get a lot of face time. He's not the main character. You got Luffy, who's literally the main character version of a Taurus and shows what a main character of a Taurus is. The indulgence of Luffy and his shenanigans and his eating. That's a very Taurus thing, the indulgence of it. That's also seen in Choji, the indulgence of food. Food is such a big thing for Taurus. They love food. They like I said last week, decadence, delectable, rich. They love food. Like, if you've ever watched a Studio Ghibli movie, Ghibli, however you want to say it, and you watch them eat the food and you're like, why do they make food look so good? To me, that's also like Choji. When he eats what's the Japanese version of Korean barbecue? Koki's gonna be so mad at me. I don't know what it's called. I ate there once and I forget what it's called. But when Ino, Shika, and Choji always go to eat together, Choji makes food look good. But also that dependability, especially for Shika, Ino, and Choji, like that friendship, especially from their dads to them. I love that Choji was the representation of Tauri in Naruto because it was that friendship dependability. So good of him. So, so I know a little bit about Luffy. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit. So, Koki, I hope that makes up for it. I hope my lack of knowledge of One Piece makes up for all of Core's lack of knowledge about Attack on Titan. Seeing that we were named after Attack on Titan. I'm a little hyper. I had spicy food. Now we go out of Taurus and we go to Gemini. I'm also flying through this because I'm going to try to really stay within the hour. I've not been good about that. So we're going into Gemini. We're going into the air signs. Gemini, okay, I hated, okay, wait, give it a second. I'm not going to talk about Itachi right now. I hate that the Gemini were depicted by Hikaru and Kaoru. Like, that's just too... It's a little on the nose. It's a little, they're the twins. Let's make them Gemini. Boo. No creativity there. Now, I will say their personalities exemplify the Gemini pretty well. So Hikaru and Kaoru, of course, being the twins. Oh, yeah, Geminis been twins. But their personalities were kind of spot on with Geminis. They come off as kind of like, they're there for a good time. They're silly with each other, blah, blah, blah. But there's also a very high level of intellect for both Hikaru and Kaoru. They know exactly what they're doing. They know when they pull out that, Wincestness about them, they know exactly how to make it work. And then, of course, there's that episode where you got to see, or even the manga, there's multiple chapters where you get to see the depth of Hikaru and Kaoru and how they are very different from each other. They're actually not very similar at all. One's a little bit wants to be more independent. One doesn't mind having that dependency between them. So I get okay, Gemini, they're twins, but also, their personalities fit in. Now, what I also like about Geminis is Gemini are, at least for me, are likable. Okay, you're all going to hold this against me. I'm going to say they're likable people, and then Itachi's up there. But I'm going to be talking about Ajiro. Ajiro is, again, air sign, so there's a large amount of intelligence. Let's go with it. Ojiro is so smart. There's also something about him that's a little, not aloof, but he knows how to look at things in a neutral setting. It's a very air sign thing. What I like about his character, and especially I picked this picture because I started to really like Ojiro when it got into the sports festival, him noticing things. Gemini, again, like I said as last week, they work on a different level. They're fast up in their minds, so fast that they can pull in a lot of information. And so during the sports festival, he was noticing things that other people weren't noticing. I liked that about him. I liked that intelligence part. Now we get into Itachi. All right, here we go. You're going to hear me say nice things about Itachi, and then we're going to be done with it. And none of you are going to bring that up ever again. Itachi is the epitome of a Gemini's intelligence. I'm going to say it. His strategy, top notch. The way he developed his abilities, top notch. Like if you're looking for a Gemini big shonen energy, it's Itachi, because he's utilizing the fast thinking, the able to download so much information in a split second of Gemini, and he's applying it into his ninjutsu, his genjutsu, his magic eyeballs. So take one home, Gemini. You get the good Uchiha. We're going to get to Sasuke in a second, and I'm going to absolutely disagree with Sasuke's sign. I don't think he should have any sign. I think he's just a black void, but we'll get to his sign in a little bit. So Geminis, props to the intelligence factor. Now we're going back into, no, not going back yet. We're going into the water signs. Okay, I'm so excited for this. The water signs, y'all. I told you last week, I love the water signs because of their emotion. I love that they're emotional characters. I love that they're emotional people, because some other signs like to think that not showing emotions or hiding emotions makes them cool, which, what is it? It's not cute. Not being in touch with your emotions or hiding your emotions is not cute. No one thinks you're cool. No one thinks you're strong. They just think you're constipated. So what's nice about the water signs is their emotion. Now with Cancers, like I said, the most loving. I actually had a great conversation with my father this past weekend, and we were talking about zodiac signs. And I know Rossin got a little light. I saw him, fluff up a little bit, because my dad was like, Cancers are the most loving, kindest people. And he's right, they are. Exemplified by my boy Deku and Kaminari, and of course Tanny. Baby Tanny, feeling all the feelings, even for the demons that he gotta be taken down. Little Tanny. I mean, okay, a lot of people don't like Deku because he's a crybaby. I have no problem with Deku being a crybaby, because Deku is us. okay? And this is a whole nother subject that I'll get into later. But a lot of times we don't like the characters in anime that exemplify who we are. Y'all, we were Sakura in Naruto, just fangirling over the strongest one around and like kind of flying off the handle. That's you. If you don't like Sakura, it's probably because you're a Sakura before she became cool. We are all Deku, little wee Botaku Deku, who's just crying because he's like, why can't I be a hero? And he wants to so bad, and he has all these feelings, and even when his bully Bakugo is bullying him, he's just like, I feel for you, Bakugo. And you're like, oh baby, you're feeling so much, so many things. You need to calm down. Proud Deku. And then Kaminari. Kaminari is kind of like the other side of the feelings. It doesn't always have to be mushy gushy, but Kaminari just feels things. Exemplified in his power, it just kind of overtakes him. His power overtakes him, and then he's done. He's burnt out. That is a Cancer. Once you burn out a Cancer, they're done. They're done. My Cancer's asleep right now. He's done. He's burned out for the day, and he is now short-circuited, and he's done. He's out. And then, of course, you have Tanjiro. The most... he just has so much compassion. And so I loved how he... With Cancer, that motherliness, you see it in him, not just taking care of Nezu, but in the way he interacts with Zenitsu and the way he interacts with Inosuke. There's that mothering factor. It comes out like an older brother, but he's also kind of like a mom. He takes his big shell and all his strength, and he's just like, I'll take care of you. Oh, you're not really listening, Inosuke, but that's okay. I'll take care of you. Oh, Zenitsu, you're a little baby. I'll take care of you. That's such a Cancer thing. And of course, the sentimentality with all three of them. They have this sentimentality about the things they have or the people that are around them. They are moon children. Like Deku with his notebook. He's like, this is my personal notebook. Even though all the bullies threw it in the fountain, I'm going to keep this notebook. And Tanjiro is like, my earrings were my dad's earrings. I'm going to wear them forever, even though they're super impractical and all the things that I'm doing. And then Kaminari, just with his friendships, he's very much strongness friendships. I mean, in that almost Cancer needy sense, when he follows Bakugo during the licensing exam, he's like, do you like me? And Bakugo's like, this is me and Kiri time. And Kaminari's like, but me also, include me, So our Cancers of our anime are just the lovable ones. They're the ones you just want to, they're best boys. They're always best boys. Cancers always tend to be best boys. Love it. Gotta love the emotional Cancers. Okay, now we're gonna, here we go. Leos. All right. I know, right? Right? I don't agree with at least one. Actually, yeah, one. I don't agree with one of these. It does. Okay, here we go. Sasha, she's a Leo. She's a Leo because girl, okay, here's how she's a Leo. Girl ate a potato in the middle of everyone during the lineup. You can say it's because she was hungry. You can say it's because that potato was so good she couldn't resist. No. Sasha knew. She's like, everyone gonna look at me. Everyone gonna remember me. Everyone gonna remember me as the potato girl. There's a little bit of Sasha that likes the center of attention. She's also she's indulgent and she kind of doesn't care what anybody else says. That's a Leo trait too. Leos do what they do, and if you're on board with it, that's great. If you're not, they don't care. They couldn't give the Fs. They couldn't give any. They couldn't give any if you have a problem with them, because Leos will do what Leos are going to do. And I love that Sasha's that kind of Leo. She's also that kind of Leo in the sense where Leos are very generous. Her friendship with I was going to say her friendship with Koki. Her friendship with Connie shows her Leo generosity. The biggest thing for Sasha is to share her food, and she shares her food with Connie. Like in the manga too, she shares things with Connie and Jean. That's like crazy, because Leos are generous, but they're generous with only their selected few. Same with Inosuke. Inosuke is, what a showman. First of all, just shirtless all over the place. Like, why? Doesn't need to be. Aren't you like 15? Why are you so buff? Why are 15-year-olds so buff in animes? If you saw a 15-year-old be as buff as these anime 15-year-olds, you'd be upset. I'd be upset. I'd be like, I think you're unwell. That's it. Like, you have 3 extra muscles here. Don't like it. But Inosuke's a Leo, so, you know, let everyone see it. Also, I mean, his need to be the best, to always be showing off, just quintessential Leo. Like, gotta be the center of attention. Even when he's not, even when he's losing, he's like, I'm winning. And you're like, Peppa Pig, calm down. You are having your head crushed in. And then I've literally seen Joseph and JK as quintessential Leos, and Toby as a Leo get the warm fuzzies that Inosuke gets. They actually get like physically in the air. Those warm fuzzies come out. I think that's a Leo thing too. Warm fuzzies. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I don't think Sasuke's a Leo. I don't see it. Generosity, 0, none. He has none. The passion and fire, I don't think what he has is passion and fire. I think it's a black void of vengeance and selfishness. And while every sign is capable of selfishness, I just don't believe any of us are as selfish as Sasuke is. And his lack of conviction, I don't see that in a Leo either. He has a lack of conviction. If you know, I don't hate Sasuke because he's good. Like, I'll give him that. Maybe that's the Leo thing, is that he is, I mean, if we're talking about in sheer power, he exemplifies a Leo. Leo's gotta be at the top tier. If Inosuke is like probably one of the strongest fighters, if Sasha's probably, spoiler, one of the best snipers in the Survey Corps, then Sasuke is probably one of the strongest ninjas to be. That sounds weird to say. Instead of shinobi, ninjas. Strongest ninjas in whatever land they're at. His showmanship comes out, like, the bad side of a Leo's ego is in his unnecessarily long and not practical sword. That sword that why? When he pulls it out with that one hand, you're a liar, Sasuke. You're a freaking liar. That thing's just showmanship. Okay, maybe he's a Leo in the showmanship. Maybe he's a big and brassy drag queen who's just got to wear that plunging V. Get out of here. Why do you need that? That unnecessary collar? He's all the unnecessary parts of a Leo. That's what he is. And like, God, Sasuke. You know what sucks is I would have been okay with him if he exemplified the conviction behind a Leo, but he doesn't. And that's what upsets me. He has no conviction in his bad choices. Like, I would have loved him as an anti. He's not even a good anti-hero, guys. Like, what? I don't agree with that Leo. I agree with the other 2 Leos. So Leos, if you want good Leos to represent you, take Sasha and Inosuke. Like, who doesn't love Potato Girl and Peppa Pig? I mean, come on. Little Lechon. Here we go. Now we go into the earth signs. Virgos. Okay. Clearly, we love the Virgos. Virgos are exemplified by the smart, the tactical, the painfully aware of everything around them, down to the detail, unable to get past a Virgo. That's who they are in anime. They are the meticulous mad scientists. They are the ones that you can never outsmart in an anime, exemplified by the Hanjo from Attack on Titan, Kakashi from Naruto, Ida from Boku no Hero Academia. I mean, like, I'm talking top tier. Virgos in anime are unrelenting. Absolute, like, I mean, clearly you see all 3 of them there. Fastly intelligent, check, check, check. Like their ability isn't in their strength, but in the cleverness of how they use their strength, blah, blah, blah. But also mega OP, blah, blah, blah. It's that earth sign. That earth sign is where the strength comes from. A lot of shonens have earth signs as like the big hitters because earth is where the strength comes in. I mean, tough. Come on. Tough. Yeah, Shikamaru is also a Virgo. The Virgos are the smart ones. They use this in relation to their abilities to make it. I mean, y'all, Kakashi from the get-go, okay, if you're looking for a good shouting gun We just needed Kakashi. And that's where like my issue comes in. Like I read a lot of Naruto fan fiction and all of them were like, they need to bring Sasuke back because, you know, he has a specialty ability that's special to Konoha and you have to keep like the Byakugan and you have to keep the Sharingan within the village and whatnot. But like they always talk about breeding the Sharingan and like having him continue the clan. But like Kakashi was a perfect example where you could just take the eyeballs out and put it in a better human being. Like he has a Sharingan, but he wasn't part of the Uchiha clan. So I say they just take Sasuke, take the eyeballs out and put it in a better human. Then we don't need Sasuke. Then his Sharingan, which is like just magic eyeballs, we could put in someone else. We have a magic eyeballs right here. Okay. We have, what was he? The six Hokage. So Kakashi's great. And then of course, Ida. I love that Ida showed that he's such a Virgo. He follows the rules. He's by the book. But as he evolves, as Virgos evolves, you watch Ida let go a little bit. He lets go of his control. And in that letting go, you see him change and become a better version of himself. That he doesn't adhere to the rules so much in the later episodes, in the later seasons, because that's him evolving as a Virgo. Now, what's great is that when you see these characters and you find out who their Capricorn counterparts are, you'll see where that perfect Virgo Capricorn pairing comes in, because there is nothing stronger in terms of sheer power than a Virgo and a Capricorn. Now, there are better emotional pairings, there are better intelligent pairings, but in sheer power, oh my gosh. It is Virgo. You need Virgo to like give that extra boost. So, I mean, I just, if I like a character in an anime, probably a Virgo. Like, hands down. Oh, the Hanjo. You're great. Now we go into Libras. Okay. Just another group of golden boys. Am I right? Libras are the golden ones. Libras have that romanticism that I talked about last week, and you need that romanticism in the anime to help flesh out what the story encompasses. So, of course, you have Naruto. This romantic idea that he's going to be Hokage. That is his driving force. Erwin, who is the leader of the Survey Corps, who has this romantic idea of defeating the Titans and bringing humanity to salvation. And of course you have Kiri, who in a different sense than Deku, who Deku wants to be this pro-hero. The pro-hero of Kiri is just so pure. Like there's this purity to it. And that's encompassed by all three of them, is that they have this idealist sense. Where the Pisces are the dreamers, Libras are the idealists. They have this set notion of how the world is going to be, and then they'll go for it. And it's what drives everyone else. Their faith in humanity is seen in Libras. Libras just want everyone to get along. Libras just like people. Libras like people. Libras are the ones who will befriend, like in real life, Libras will befriend the outliers, the ostracized, the anti-heroes, the ones that you stay away from. Just like in anime. I mean, Naruto, the worst part of Naruto is the best part of Sasuke, which is Naruto loves Sasuke and Sasuke loves Naruto. The only redeeming factor for Sasuke is that Naruto loves him. Like, what a Libra thing. That pure blind faith in a horrible human being. But also Naruto building these friendships, like his whole legacy is built off of creating these friendships kind of out of nowhere with these characters that he probably shouldn't be friends with, and then does, and then changes them for the better. Like, what a great, a Libra as a main character in an anime is so beautiful. Erwin in Attack on Titan, he creates this friendship with Levi, this grumpy old tiny man. And he has this way of unifying the Survey Corps. They all see it, even if they don't want to believe in Erwin's ideal outlook of what humanity can accomplish. They have this faith in him. He loses his arm and they still have faith in him, because a Libra pulls you in with this loyalty to their own truth, and it's so great. And then of course Kirishima befriending Bakugo. Y'all, I'm gonna get shipper on you for a second. The fact that even Deku knows there's only one person that can break through Bakugo's fiery wall that he's created about himself. The Rescue Bakugo arc, when Kiri reaches his hand out to Bakugo, I was like, oh baby, Libra golden boy, of course you'd be the only one that Bakugo smiles for, that Bakugo loves. Like, that is love. All y'all like shipping Bakugo with other people, no. His one true love is Kirishima. I will not be swayed. That rescue arc solidified it. Whether it is romantic or not, his love, his first love, is Kirishima. And only a Libra could pull that out of someone like Bakugo. Like, find the Libras in your life and think they are just like the sweetest. They're your favorite people. They tend to be your favorite people, honestly. Them Libras. Now we go into the water signs again, and we go, Scorpios are kind of, just like where Gemini was on the nose, Scorpios are a little on the nose when it comes to their anime characters. We're looking at Tokoyami, like deep, dark, and full of terrors. Yeah, okay. Takoyaki over there with the bird face and his dark shadow. Then we have Jiraiya and we have Armin. Now, what's really cool about this is that you don't think, oh, they're all Scorpios. They don't really make sense. But yes, they do. Because on the surface, you think Scorpio is one thing. And then you delve into their center. Not that they're a different person, but you delve into their center and you realize who they are on the outside is bred from something really, really deep and dark on the inside. Now, Tokoyami, we haven't gotten a lot of his backstory, but what we have gotten is that him dealing with dark shadow is a literal metaphor for battling your demons, where he's using it to his advantage, but there is definitely a point of no return where it's going to take over him. Like in that forest when Dark Shadow was going AWOL, that was like, what a Scorpio personification in anime. Scorpios, if you push them too far into their dark, they're not coming back. They've transformed. They've gone Super Saiyan 3. But like Dark Side Sith Lord Super Saiyan 3, it's not good. So like, don't push a Scorpio to that. Now with Jiraiya, you think he's just a pervy old man. You get into Jiraiya's backstory, you get into the root of his power, and he has become people's favorite. You know what I mean? There's so much depth to his character that's not seen in how he presents it. He presents himself as one way. He's like, it's fine, I'm silly, I have fun, blah, blah, blah. We see him as we train with Naruto, we get his backstory, and you realize there's a lot of loss there. There's a lot of sadness in Jiraiya that feeds into who he is as a person. Again, deep, dark, and full of terrors. Now I picked this, spoilers for Attack on Titan. I picked this picture of Armin because I loved his haircut after the time skip. Spoilers for Attack on Titan. You guys, this is my unofficial way of getting mad at everyone for not keeping up with Attack on Titan. Armin is such a G in Attack on Titan. Like, his Scorpio comes out in the best way. Spoilers! He becomes the Colossal Titan. Spoilers! He succeeds as the next commander of the Survey Corps. Spoilers! When Eren makes him mad, it doesn't matter how much he loves Eren. Eren has done some bad things, and the wrath of Armin is scary. Like, it can only be depicted by like a scorpion. With like, Armin is literally scorpion out with the tail and the claws and the pincers. Don't get in his way. And then, on the surface, you thought Armin was like this sweet little, I'm weak and I need someone to protect me and I need Mikasa. Even Mikasa's like, oh my gosh, I'm not protecting Armin anymore. Armin's protecting me, because that's what a Scorpio does. A Scorpio needs time to develop their armor, and then once they've developed that armor, you ain't penetrating that hide no more. Armin is such a, excuse my language, badass. Like, y'all, what a Scorpio. He's so scary. It's great. So scary. Still feeling so many emotions, but really scary. So, spoilers done. Done. Spoilers for Attack on Titan. Those are your Scorpios. Look more into their characters and you'll kind of find that Scorpio-ness. It's that whole, I'm going to keep saying it, deep, dark, and full of terrors. There's so much more depth to a Scorpio. There's so much farther down you can go to understand what their character personifies. Just in people in general. Find the Scorpios and there's so much depth to them. Now we go into the Sagittarius. Okay, this one's kind of sad. So Sagittarius, I'm so sorry. Your theme in anime is kind of your painful optimism is met with horrific, devastating circumstance. I'm not kidding you. First of all, you got Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Then you got Petra from Attack on Titan. And then you have Rock Lee in Naruto. Okay, it's like go find your Sag and hug them, because in anime Sages aren't treated well. They're given all of this bright-eyed hope and faith in everything turning out well and good, and then they're just given poop and a horrible circumstance and most likely a terrible end. Now you look at Lee. His isn't as devastating, but Lee and all of his optimism and his energy and his excitement, like what a Sagittarius, he's ready to be the greatest ninja and he can't do a genjutsu or ninjutsu. He just has no chakra to use for that. So he can only use taijutsu. Now he, again, silver lining, he uses it to advantage. He's like, you know what? If I could only do taijutsu, I'm going to use it to the best of my ability. And he becomes a taijutsu master. But that, when you learn that about him, that he can't utilize this widespread side of being a shinobi, and yet he's probably the most pure-hearted, optimistic, willing, hardworking shinobi out there, you're just kind of like, I feel so bad for Lee. Again, he uses it to his advantage and becomes a favorite because he's so good at what he did. But it was that, imagine learning that you can't do what everyone else is doing. You just can't. No matter how hard you work, you'll never be able to do what Neji can do, or what Tenten can do, or what freaking Naruto, the kid who nobody likes, can do. Even he can do stuff that you can't do, but you want it more than everyone else, but you're only given a third of the portion. And so Rock Lee goes, this is okay. Like, poor Sagittarii, they're so that person. They're so this is okay. They're the dog with the fire around meme. That's a Sagittarius. Oh, this is fine. Everyone thinks like, oh, that's so mean. No, that's a Sagittarius. Only a Sag would sit in the fire and be like, this is fine. I'll make this work. And the rest of us are like, no, Sag, you don't have to make it. Like, it's great, but you don't have to. But it's cute that you do. Same with Petra. Petra had this idealism going into the Survey Corps. She was following Levi because she had such faith in his ability. She was faithful to him. She knew that based off of his decisions and his power and his perseverance, he would be able to lead them. And then she died. You're like, oh, Petra. Oh, Petra, you died in the worst way. Like, she went out having faith in Levi. And Levi was like, well, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. And poor Petra was like, no, but I died. But everything's fine. I'm dead. And then we get to Kaneki. If you guys haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul, he was like the fluffiest, most like, he was a soft boy. He was like, oh, I study. And, I'm going to think the best of everyone. And I'm going to be a little adventurous. And I like this girl I've never met before. And I'm going to walk with her home. My little adventurous self, just going to take a little bit of risk. And then it just leads to that one little risk that he took the one time he tried to not be a stickler to the rules. The one time he went on his Sagittarius impulse is just the most horrid. It was a road of torture and torment we've never seen. Poor Kaneki has the saddest story, and he's even Even as he's delving into the world of being a ghoul and being attacked by both ghouls and humans, he's like, this is fine. I'm being tortured. This is fine. I'm going to utilize the torture to make myself stronger. This is fine. Spoilers for the manga. I'm going to turn into this giant evil dragon thing. This is fine. Like, I'm going to lose all my memories because everything's just been too much and my PTSD is just shattering my mind. This is fine. And you're like, oh, Sagittarius, you need to guys, painfully optimistic. Hug your Sagittarii. They're going through so much. Your poor anime Sagittarii. They're so good. They're so good. And yet their circumstances are so dire. Poor sorry, Joe. Joe's our resident Sagittarius. I mean, you have the best story, but it's sad. In anime. So, I mean, just hope you never go to an anime world because, oh no, if you're a Sagittarius and you go to the world of anime, yeesh. Now we get into Capricorns. Stroke of the ego a little bit. To my fellow Caps, big shonen energy. I'm not even kidding you. If you're a Capricorn in an anime, you are going to be the most powerful. The most powerful. Everyone's going to like you because you're the most powerful. Your downside is you're incredibly socially inept and awkward. But that's okay because you're the best. But you're not going to be the main character because no one wants to watch a strong person just keep getting stronger. And I say that because in every anime, big shonen energy is a Capricorn. Levi, we have the same birthday, y'all. We both born on December 25th. We the Christmas babies. Capricorn. Todoroki, big shonen energy. Capricorn. Gaara, my husbando, the one anime character that I simp for the most. Big shonen energy. Like, just to the point where it's not, they're just broken and they can't be the main character. You have to push them to the side because then they would just take over. But also the favorite, the Capricorn tends to be, there's also Hinata. I mean, she's not, even though she's not as out there with her big shonen energy, it's said multiple times how much power she really does have. You also have a Chaco in Boku no Hero who's a Capricorn. Again, there's this amount of energy and power that's not exemplified. It's unfortunately, it's the girl side of the Capricorn in anime. They're oftentimes the main girl to the main character, but they're pushed to the side. But if we just focus on the big shonen energy, let's just, y'all, I mean, need we say more? Levi, just invincible. All right, here we go. Spoiler alert for Attack on Titan. Levi, dies, I think, 82 times and then never dies. He's not dead. But he died. He should be dead, but he doesn't because big shonen energy. You can't kill him. Gaara was supposed to die. I mean, he died in when he had Shikaku taking out him. Like, that was aggressive, but didn't die. Toto is probably gonna, following the Capricorn, he's probably gonna die. That's the thing too, is that if you look at all of them too, it's in that Capricorn sense where their childhood was pretty rough, which made them grow up sooner. All three of them went through a very rough childhood that fashioned who they were later on in life. And then you watch them be socially awkward, and then they tend to either meet a Cancer or an Aries or Virgo or I want to say a Taurus. No, it's actually kind of an Aquarius. They meet an Aquarius, and then you watch them kind of open up. Like you watch their social awkwardness show that they are actually very caring people. Once you break that wall of I care about no one, you realize they care about everyone. Capricorns really try to take care of their people to the best of their abilities, and they kind of keep it within their own mind, but they're always thinking about, how do I protect those around me? How do I use all this unnecessary power that I have to the benefit of the people around me? Like, watching Gaara become the Kazakage was like my heart, y'all. I'm going to talk about this in anime later on. But if there was one character I would leave my life here for, is Gaara. Because, I mean, he's probably gay because him and his tending his little cacti, and he's in love with Naruto. We can't blame that. But like, watching him take all of that pain and trauma from when he was a kid and then meet Naruto and utilize it to protect his village. Like, what? Oh, baby Capricorn. And then watching Todo change after talking with Deku, and even Ida, watching him take his power and really hone in on it and use it in tandem with his fellow students rather in separating himself. And then of course in Levi, watching him care but not care about his squad, and then care and not care about the little golden trio, and he, like Virgo, Ida, and Todoroki, y'all ship Tododeku, which I'm going to challenge you. Find me a scene, the next coming in, find me a scene in season 3 where Tododeku was a thing, because I watched season 3 and I don't think they interact even at all. So I don't see Tododeku at all. If anything, based on the Stain arc, why ain't no one shipping Todo and Ida? Like, that was a bromance, like, connection if I ever saw one. And Todo was totally protecting Ida. That was a Virgo Capricorn that I'm all for. And then Virgo Capricorn for Gaara, I would just say, like, I don't really see it there, other than the fact that he now has a Virgo in his family because his sister married one. That's about it for there. But that's okay, because Gaara has me, and that's fine. I may not be a Virgo, but I'm another earth sign. So, I mean, Capricorns in anime, big shonen energy. Oftentimes, I think in addition, you also have like Demon Slayer has Nezuko, big shonen energy. And then there's another one, I forget where it is, and I can't find my, I deleted something. I don't know what I deleted. Well, that's going to be interesting to find that. Oh, y'all, Riza Hawkeye is a Capricorn. What? I was kind of mean to Capricorns last week. I only really focused on the negative of Capricorns in pure Capricorn fashion. So I'm just stroking Capricorn's ego today, because there you go, Capricorns. It's never going to happen again, but there, you're awesome. Take it. It's yours. Now we go into Aquarius. Oh, the age of Aquarius. You know what's funny is they personify the aloof character. The character that pulls back and is low-key OP and kind of broken, but they don't really invest too much into any situation. You know they care. Oh goodness, you know they care. But they're like, we're neutral party. We're just gonna be out here on the brim. Suyu Asui, in pure Aquarius fashion, no obvious weaknesses. Mikasa, in pure Aquarius fashion, just kind of like like an alien, like doesn't really understand emotion, doesn't even quite kind of get it when like Eren gives her the scarf. He's like, I'm doing this because I care about you, and she's like, E.T. phone home, now we are friends. Like, just a weirdo, but also stays aloof and just does what she does. And Eren hates Mikasa because just building skills. Again, skill builders. And then you have Caleb. God, what is his name? Not Caleb. Giyu. I got it. Giyu. It's Caleb. Then you have Caleb over there, who's just Mr. I'm great, I show up, I'm cool as a cucumber, but I'm also like a G, but you won't ever see me do anything because I'm so good. You don't even have to actually watch me do my magic power, water, calmness, sword technique thing. So that's Aquarius in anime, is they tend to be these really strong characters that kind of just don't emotionally attached to anything. They're just kind of like, that's great. Like Suyu, I think as they evolve, you kind of see them exemplify or like personify their emotions a little bit more. But in general, they're kind of like, oh, we're neutral party. Like Suyu is like, yeah, like I'll get along with everyone. I do great with everybody. It's It's no skin off my back. I'm going to work with you. That's awesome. I'm going to work with you. That's great. People don't like you. I don't care. I'm going to do great either way. Same with Mikasa. Mikasa's like, oh my gosh, people are dying and there's Titans. I'm just going to kill it. Well, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's their very specific person, they're very, I mean, Aquarius's people, if Cancer keeps their circle small, Aquarius keeps their circle in like, those Yoplait wee jars, like not a mason jar, but like the little jar. That's how many people that they keep close. It's a very small jar and not many people fit in it. But if you're in there, Aquarius will take care of you. And then that's the only time they'll really get emotional about it. I mean, same with Caleb, Giyu. There's very few people, and Tanny's inching his way in there because, you know, Cancers can do that. There's very few that they actually like care about. But when they care about them a lot. And they have their back a lot. Having an Aquarius in your anime team is kind of essential because you need that mixture of kind of can work with everyone. You need that neutral party with that strength behind them. They have unique powers. That's where their uniqueness comes in. The Aquarius in an anime doesn't necessarily have things that everyone else has. They're very, very particular about what they can and can't do. And I mean, who doesn't love Sue? I mean, she's great. Also, just a frog. What an alien. What a weirdo. Like, what's your power? Frog. I don't think that's like me. What's your power? Dog. What can you but what can you do as a dog? You have really good sense of smell and you can run really fast and everyone knows when you're happy, but they would be able to make it, you know, so you turned frog and made it into something cool. Like, what the heck? And then Giyu is, Caleb, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know who he is. He's just Caleb. And so I look at him and I'm like, Caleb does all this stuff. And no, that's Caleb and not you. You're Giyu, whatever. Aquarii, that's who they are. And finally, we've made it into Pisces. Pisces are the outliers. Pisces are the rogue agents. Pisces are the randos. There you go. Pisces. Oh, where'd they go? Pisces are the ones that you don't really know. Like what? That's what a Pisces is. It's funny because you would think it's the Aquarius, but it's kind of the Pisces. They're at the end of the zodiac. They are existential. They're spiritual. They go beyond understanding. First of all, you have Annie in Attack on Titan. Who saw that coming with Annie? I didn't. If I'm being honest, like, you remember when you first saw Attack on Titan season 1 and Annie was like, I'm the female Titan. You're like, what? I mean, it kind of looked like her, but also what? And that whole idea of who she was. And of course, because like Eren had a connection with her and whatnot, you're like, oh my gosh. And then you have Kabuto, who's like kind of one of the best shinobi out there. Like, where did he come from? What is that sound? Y'all, I've never heard that sound in this house before. Oh no. Oh, I'm worried. But you have Kabuto, who's... I don't know how I feel about Kabuto because I hate that he's so good. Like, he's bad. He's a bad guy. But he was really... Oh, it's the heater. Oh gosh, that's what it sounds like. Dear Lord, it sounds like the burner from Home Alone that's down in the basement. Kabuto kind of just, he throws you for a loop. What a Pisces thing. You kind of don't really know which way when you first meet him at the Chunin exams, like, he already comes off as a creeper and then he helps Team 7 and then you're like, okay, maybe you're okay. And then you realize he's with Orochimaru and you're like, okay, maybe you're not okay. Like, Pisces just circling around and you never really know where they're going to go. And they just have an answer for everything. And you're like, dude, what? Like, and then you have Shoji, rando. Shoji is, that's what I feel about all these characters. Shoji's such a good character, and he kind of comes out of nowhere, and he's there when you need him, but he's not a main character, and he's not the main strong ones, but they even talk about it. They're like, but he should be one of the main strong ones, but we don't really know what he's going for, and he has this mysteriousness about him, because we can't really read him, but we know what he can do, and we know that he'll be there, and we know he's a good hero. But like, what? That's Pisces. When I was looking through them in the animes, I'm like, they're the what characters? They're like, I don't even know. Like, you're essential to be there, but I don't even know what you're doing. Like, what? Pisces, if you see a character in an anime and you're kind of like, well, you're cool. I'm so unsure about you. Probably a Pisces. Pisces. The Pish. So, yeah, I mean, look out for the Pisces in anime. They could be either really... And again, okay, spoilers for Attack on Titan. Y'all, I read the chapter... Spoilers! Attack on Titan spoilers. Spoilers. I read the chapter on when Annie wakes up. And it's gnarly. Like, she comes out of the crystal... It's like 1,000 chapters later, but she finally came out, and it's gnarly. So Pisces, y'all got some gnarly stories that you're not telling the rest of us. You got some weird stuff in your closet that you're not telling the rest of us, just like Annie, just like whatever Shoji's got under that Kakashi mask of his. Maybe he's got another mask, just like Kakashi. And then Kabuto was his twisted backstory. Like, what a weirdo. Ooh, look out for Pisces. Pisces, y'all crazy. Yeah. So we finished. I can't speak anymore. We finished the Zodiac. Those are your anime characters. Go ahead and explore your characters, and just know that if you ever end up in an anime world based off of your Zodiac sign, that's kind of who you're gonna be. So some of y'all, great. Some of y'all, don't go to anime world. It's a terrible place for you. And some of y'all, you're gonna be the main character. Prepare for a lot of heartache and a lot of hard work. And you don't get to play around, and you have to carry the whole story on your back, and you might think that you like being the main character, but in actuality you're going through a lot of stuff that's probably going to scar you in real life. Like, we don't talk about all the stuff that Naruto had to go through, and now he's like, the Hokage, and his son sucks. Like, Baruto is saying, Dad, you don't love me, and Naruto's like, all right, listen here, you little butt wipe. You don't understand what I had to go through, okay? This is not all fun and games. Like, I know it's all about you and your Rasengan, that you try to use your compressed Rasengan, but hey, people are watching this show for me, all right? So, I went on a tangent. Anyways, those are your Zodiac signs. Ha ha ha, and I finished at 9, but we still have some announcements. So, on Sunday, the ultimate shonen battle of all, we watched Koki battling other vegetables. I think we know based off of the votes what he is going to eat next. And I'm excited because I don't think he's gonna like it in the best way possible, because it's probably gonna be gross. Good luck, Koki. And I would like to say that we have a new performance announcement coming your way very, very soon. A live stream performance that will be happening sometime. That announcement will be coming probably at the end of next week, but please be excited because we're excited. We have other announcements attached to that announcement. So I would like to say, make sure you're following us on TikTok. Oh, gosh. The tick of the talk? Wait, where's my little clock over there? TikTok? Oh, I hiccuped. Oh no, I don't have water. Follow us on TikTok, The Core Dance Crew. Oh, I got burp. Ugh. For some special insight. Ugh. Heartburn. Hiccup burn. Oh, I got a fart too. Let's see if we can get through these final announcements before she blows. Follow us on TikTok for some special behind the scenes of what we're doing for this performance and some special things of alumni coming through and guests coming through. It's going to be awesome. Also, if you haven't seen, we did announce that Soy Socks is coming into fruition. I'm so excited to bring Soy Socks out to y'all. Soy Socks is exactly what you think it is. It is a new pop music group. Pop music, which means we are making music. We are making our very own music, and it is so hype. So I'm excited for you to listen to Soy Socks music. And make sure you are following us on Instagram because we are announcing all of our superhero personas on Instagram. We just met Lux. We just met the Empress today. We're going to meet everyone else. We're also going to have a mini-series that will be premiering on our YouTube channel in succession to the core trailer that you saw with all of our superheroes on it. So there's a lot of stuff that we are creating for you, our lovely comrade humans out there in the virtual world, because the pandemic is still a thing and you have to wear your masks and you have to stay in. I know, I'm struggling too. Stay in. If you're not staying in, make sure you're testing. Make sure you're safe. Ooh, she tooted. I didn't make it, y'all. She totally tooted. Shoot it in the middle of me saying stay safe. That's how dire it is that you must stay safe. Go outside with a mask on. Wash your hands. So just don't touch people. In general, don't touch people. Yeah? Like even after the pandemic's over, don't touch people. Like when you're out at conventions, just don't touch people. Don't touch anyone ever. Right? Okay, cool. With that being said, Biden is our president-elect. We're so excited. Everything's glad. And it means that we have some work to do. So with all that being said, hands out. Sotomato on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sotomato. I will see. Wow, I said soul tomato. Who am I, Jason? I'll see you all next week. Same time. We will explore our astrology even more. Bars. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I kind of want to change what I just thought of. Yeah, so vague enough for you to show up and find out. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good night. It's cold here in Cali. Peace!